Good morning everybody and welcome back to Affinity. Today we're going to install some subs on my BRZ. I'm at Nick's house here and let's get into this. Alright, so we got everything laid out here. We got two 10-inch JBLs, all the wiring, the fuses, and of course the box here. And we're going to be doing this the right way.
Yes sir!
Oh yeah. Alright, so to install the subs today we're going to take out the back seats and run the speaker wire to the rear speakers of the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and film that process for you as we do it today. Alright, so we took all the stuff out of the trunk here, the trunk liner and everything. You can see the stock amp there. And next step is to take out the back seats so we can access the rear speakers and tap into those.
Alright guys, so basically what we did is we crimped the wire together. We threw in some soldering on the back so it won't come loose, won't have any issues with that. We got everything wired to the speakers, well the subs, and we got them drilled in now, so the box is ready to go, ready to put in the car. All we have to do from there, from the box, is add speaker wires, which we'll worry about that later. Right now we're going to run the power wire from the battery to the back, and then we'll focus on the ground, and then the last thing we'll focus on is the remote turn on.
And Joey's in here, been working hard. We got the back seats out, we got the side panels for the speakers out, and everything's pretty much gutted, so now we got weight reduction and we're good.
Alright, basically we got this connection on. We're just going to go over the battery. Power wire is ran through all the way to the back. We have it through the firewall, and if we come over here, we got it tucked underneath where your hood latch would be, underneath where this foot trim is, and it's going all the way back. And if you want to come back here, Mr. Jeremy behind the camera right now didn't buy ground wire, so right now we're using the power wire as a ground, and we just threw a sleeve over it so he would know. So that's just already grounded out. We threw that connection over, and I just threw electrical tape so that would be snug and there won't be any wire showing. And this is just going to go straight to his amp. This is going to go straight to his amp. So now what we're going to work on is the remote turn on, and we're going to have that wired and spliced into the two rear speakers, and that will come straight back here, and we'll pick up probably when we get back from that. Alright guys, so we made it to here. We just cut the sleeve, and you can see right here there's a pink and there's a yellow wire, and that might be confusing to some of you guys, so all you have to do is just look. So you see there's a red and there's a black wire, so when you connect this together, the red is going to be on the right. So for our case, if I just, for example, on the right side is our yellow, so our positive wire that we're going to tap into is going to be the yellow wire. So that yellow wire is going to be our positive, and this pink wire is our negative, since that is the black wire that's on the top. I know it's really hard to see, but at least you were able to see it for a second.
Alright, so we got the wires connected to the rear speakers here, and we did run into one problem where we cut here along the harness and we didn't have enough wire, so we had to connect some more wire in. But we got both sides done. Then we're going to move on and hook it up to the controller in the back. Alright, we've got the wiring from the rear speakers to the remote turn on. As you can see.
We're waiting on you, bro. Turn the damn car on.
Alright everyone, so of course we ran into wiring issues. These things can never seem easy, so I guess we'll give you an update once we hopefully figure it out.
So we got this cluster of wires in the back, and so far we got this sub to work. Well actually no, we've gotten both subs to work, we just can't get them to work at the same time. And we just redid these wires, we had them just twisted. Very frustrating. We're about to go for temp 2. Alright, great news from the last time we filmed. We just ended up rewiring everything, took all the wires apart, and somehow it worked. We got both the subs to work. Right now we're gonna get into tucking this underneath all these wires and the mess that we have. Yeah, we're just gonna make it up clean. We have so much to put back. That's his job.
Alright, so we've got a cable sleeve over the power wire here in the engine bay just to make it look clean. We've zip tied it up there. Alright, so we got everything wired up here. Everything's tucking down under this floor mat, and everything works, so it looks like we're golden. Alright guys, so it's a few days later now, and the install ran really late into the night. It took us probably about 11 hours once we were finished putting everything back in the car and tuning the amp and all that, but I'm gonna wrap it up today, give you a little bit of a more in-depth sort of summary. Maybe that's contradictive, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get into the little summary of what we did and how everything finished up and how it's looking now. Alright guys, so this is how the trunk setup is looking. The box fits in there just snug enough so it's not going to move. We have the wire on this side for one of the subs and both of the RCA cables. And then on this side, we cut into this rubber floor mat to tuck some of the wires. As you can see, we have them coming up just so they're not in the way of anything down there. And as you can see, we got little connectors there so the wiring wasn't all over the place, all the copper, and there's no fire hazard or anything now because it was looking pretty sketch when we first did it, but we just trimmed the connector points and then screwed them on so the power and the ground both are connected there. Then all the other connections are right there, and they're just coming out from the other speaker, and everything's hooked up pretty well and tucked pretty well, and it's all working. So that's the trunk setup there for you. It's not the most clean setup, but it's a lot cleaner than it would have been if we just left all the wires out. And as we move into the interior, you can see the back seats are back in and everything fits, and the back seats can go all the way up, and the sub box isn't blocking anything. All the wiring is tucked nicely, you don't see anything poking out anywhere. And as you can see from the trunk, all the wiring is tucked, and we tucked them into the rear speaker panels here on both sides, and everything works. Everything sounds amazing. And then down here we have the bass knob controller, just hanging for now until I mount it, but this allows me to control the amount of bass that comes into the system, so I can put it all the way up or all the way down depending on what mood I'm in. And that's all tucked underneath the trim for the transmission here. Alright guys, now I'm going to do a little sound test for you so you can see what it sounds like both inside and outside of the car here. So as you can see, for a BRZ, the two 10-inch subs definitely give it a little bit of oomph, definitely bring the bass up in the car, and it's more than enough than what you need for a car this small. And overall, I'm very satisfied with the sound of it. When you want it to hit, it hits, and then with the little bass knob, you can turn it down when you just want to have a conversation or you don't want to have the bass all the way up. And it's a great resource to have. If you want the controller, I'll have a link in the description below. I'll also have a link to Nick's Instagram and Joey's Instagram below, because huge shout out to them for helping with the install and toughing it out even though it took so long to install, but everything's done well, everything looks amazing. And yeah, I'm very satisfied with how it sounds, and it just goes to show you don't need a shop to do everything for you, but I definitely appreciate and understand the time and effort it takes for them to install this kind of stuff now. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below if you enjoyed the content. There's still more to come in the future. We'll be doing some more car stuff as parts come in. We'll do some daily life stuff, maybe some more cinematics of different cars you want to see. If you want to see a walk around in Nick's BRZ and his Corolla, that would be coming in the future as well. So remember guys, that you're not alone, and don't be afraid to be unique. Peace.